Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the beginner photography class. Today, let's look at some of the mistakes that have purchased the camera and started taking pictures of beginners easily. When I held the camera in my hand, I was thrilled to see and run the manual for the first time. But I discovered that there's a big difference between the visible substance and my photograph. Today, let's take a look at the composition of a picture that can be the most basic picture. It is impossible to express the visible subject as it is. But if a picture taken in the same landscape is different from a professional photographer, it is because the composition is wrong or the nature of the light is unknown.
Hoy, echemos un vistazo a la composición de una imagen que puede ser la imagen más básica. Es imposible expresar el sujeto visible tal como es, pero si una fotografía tomada en el mismo paisaje es diferente a la de un fotógrafo profesional, es porque la composición es incorrecta o se desconoce la naturaleza de la luz.
Whether you are shooting a landscape or a portrait, photos with poorly distributed vertical and non-horizontal backgrounds will not feel like sharp photos. It can be said that making a good photo depends on how you understand and accept well-structured light. Photography begins with endless practice. In general, novice photographers who buy a DSLR camera and start taking pictures think that pressing the shutter makes a good picture. But if there is no center of the picture and the background of the subject is not balanced, the picture taken is incomplete. Today, we will talk about the importance of composition in photo composition. When taking great landscapes or portraits, you should take a good look at the composition before pressing the shutter. One. Vertical and horizontal correction. The composition is paramount to photography. The reason the composition is so important is that you need to balance your photos before they can be beautiful or impressive. Balance is the most basic of beauty. And if it's out of balance, it's useless or unnatural. So when you take a picture, if you press the shutter to capture everything you see on the camera, the results can actually be completely different. Also, understanding light and photo composition is one of the most important parts. Capturing everything you see on the camera is difficult, and it's important to take accurate and well-balanced pictures around every subject.
Capturar todo lo que ve en la cámara es difícil y es importante tomar fotografías precisas y bien equilibradas alrededor de cada sujeto. Además, comprender la luz en la composición de fotografías es una de las partes más importantes.
In the smartphone era, It is an era in which many people take a lot of pictures with their smartphones, and everyone takes pictures through the popular DSLR. But once you take a picture, you have to think and take it so that a good picture comes out. Most people study photography as majors, press the shutter, or take pictures while looking at the screen they are holding on their smartphones without studying. Can do. It's about composition. The technique of dividing the screen into 3 parts. The picture above is a screen that anyone can easily see by looking at the camera focus. However, there are some differences depending on the camera model, but it's basically easy to focus and compose. While looking at the focus above, take a picture by dividing the screen into 3 parts, rule of thirds. Most of the camera has LCD or viewfinder show the 2 lines. The first grid, with 9 squares, is the most useful. This is identical to the rule of thirds photographers use when composing images.
La mayor parte de la cámara tiene LF de visor que muestra las 2 líneas. La primera cuadrícula, con 9 cuadrados, es la más útil. Es idéntica a la regla de los tercios que usan los fotógrafos al componer imágenes.
The selected grid displays on the LCD screen when you shoot in live view mode.
La cuadrícula seleccionada se muestra en la pantalla LCD cuando dispara en el modo libre Pro.
What does the rule of thirds mean? The rule of thirds is the process of dividing an image into thirds, using 2 horizontal and 2 vertical lines. This imaginary grid yields 9 parts with 4 intersection points. When you position the most important elements of your image at these intersection points, you produce a much more natural image.
La regla de los tercios es el proceso de dividir una imagen en tercios, utilizando 2 líneas horizontales y 2 verticales. Esta cuadrícula imaginaria produce 9 partes con 4 puntos de intersección.
It's easier to learn about photography and cameras if you can attend community college photography group classes or college classes. Today, I did introduce the mistakes that have purchased the camera and started taking pictures. For the beginner photo mistakes by everyone, I have explained how to practice as simple and easy as possible. But if you understand this, camera shooting seems not that difficult. In the next video, I will show you some more informative aspects of photography.